There's that funky side guitar music that comes in every Monday through Friday, live at 5 on the Evil FB Network YouTube. Check us out, subscribe. Type the Newswire. See my nice smiling, shining face. Of course, we'll join the mighty men. 1490 a.m. at the bottom of the hour, as we usually do. Lots to come on. We're going to get to the tire thing right off the get-go. We'll get to the race report a little later. The record amount of money spent on the council races in the city of Riverside was staggering. They just had the release of the 460s coming out, so now Riverside Record put out some great information on that. Of thy day. California regulators approved new rules limiting replacement tires you can buy for your car. I kid you not. If we're not running into a police state, then I don't know what the hell one is. The idiocracy of they're going to eliminate most of the 70% of the tires you can go buy, they're going to eliminate just on a free market economic basis. You think the price of tires have probably doubled since the COVID con? They're going to go up 4 times, and you know what? All you dodo birds in the other 49 states think, yeah, you use California fruits and nuts. It's coming to your state, your city, your town next. Get off your frickin' assholes out there and start paying the frick attention. Damn! Has practically everybody been, has every male in society, 4 billion of us, had their frickin' balls cut off? You're gonna let a witch like Nancy Skinner and Gavin Newsom, a witchette, just jack you into the frickin' ground. Here's a KCR. I better stop. Get somebody who's more sane. The great Ashley Zavala from KCRA3. Here's her report.
California regulators approved new rules that will limit the type of tires you can buy when it's time to replace them on your car.
Yeah, while the California Energy Commission says that this is meant to save money for consumers, tire makers say that this will add to the cost of living here in the state. And KCRA3 was the only TV station at the meeting today. KCRA3 political director Ashley Zavala was there to watch the vote. So walk us through what this is.
We're down to only Ashley Zavala and KCRA3. It's the only television report on this. Maybe they got one. I barely seen any articles in the print media or anything else. Of course, social media, this is going across all the 57 states of the United States of America, as Barack Obama has stated. Get more. It's the Ash Report. The great political reporter Ashley Zavala. Here we go.
Well, this was a lengthy hearing, and ultimately the California Energy Commission, in a unanimous vote, approved new rules that will phase out the sale of replacement tires that are currently sold in California that do not meet certain energy efficiency standards.
Let me stop right there. They're going to eliminate some, and we'll get into the whole why they're doing this. Well, they're not banning cars, but they're going to ban, well, you can't afford tires to run them. You can't afford gas at $7, $10, $20 a gallon to drive your car no matter what. Oh, we're going to shut off the electricity. Doesn't matter if you have a Tesla or one of those phony Fiats or whatever. You're not going to have electricity to charge it. You couldn't put enough frickin' solar panels on your house to power your car. More from the great Ashley Zavala. Here we go.
Expected to eliminate most of the tires that are right now sold in this state. The goal is for consumers to save money on gas or electricity if you have an EV by having more efficient tires. At the center of this is a tire's rolling resistance, or how much energy a tire uses as it rolls down the road. Lower resistance means a vehicle uses less gas or less electricity. New cars generally
Royism 101. Royism 101. Static analysis will kill you 98.7% of the time. This whole idiocracy you see up here, well, yeah, it's true. You build a harder rubber compound, higher durometer, harder tire, yeah, it's going to have less rolling resistance. As you see as the car's going through the snow, you blow her up here, as it's going through the snow or the rain, that's a totally different environment. So most tires have a softer compound. A softer compound means if a kid runs out in front of your car and you hit the brakes to not run over him or her, and there's only two frickin' genders, you people, quit this other shit. You put on the brakes. Your car is going to stop in less feet and possibly not hit them. You have hard compound tires like that witch, Nancy Stewart, and Gulag Gavin Newsom are trying to do to you, and you may run over that 5-year-old that just ran out in front of your car. This is how frickin' stupid these complete frickin' idiot Politico, DSA, Ulysses Cabrera assholes are killing your society. You want to take, they don't want to ban your car. They'll just say, well, you can't have any tires. You know, that battery's got toxic chemicals in it. They're going to cash register justice you out of driving your car. More from the great Ashley Zavala.
Normally come with efficient tires, but consumers typically replace them with higher rolling resistance tires. This new rule comes in phases in California. So first, by 2029, California will only allow the sale of tires with a maximum rolling resistance level of 9.1. In phase 2, the standard lowers to 7.2 starting in 2033. That second phase means that an estimated 70% of tires currently sold in California will be eliminated from the market.
So in 7 years, as you see in this, 70% of the tires you go down to your friendly local tire store will be gone. Probably close to 50% by 2029. In 3 years. Dang it! Will you frickin' people pay the frick attention? Learn frickin' economics. More important, learn to teach your kids and grandkids. Make them watch Milton Friedman's Free to Choose. The whole 13 hours. Take their damn phones away from them and make them watch it. And put it in the schools. It's what they should be teaching. We are doing a disservice to ourselves, to our kids, to society by perpetuating this BS. And it's our fault. Look in the mirror. It's your fault. It's my fault for not preventing this. For electing these stupid dickwads that like Gavin Newsom or Baby Jesus or Canine Hayden Corey Jackson. Chuck Conder, are you listening? You MFers ought to get off your dead frickin' ass and start dealing with reality, because you're gonna screw us all into the frickin' ground if you don't stop this. More from the great Ashley Zavala. Here we go.
The California Energy Commission has never regulated tires before, so this is a first. The commission claims the savings on gas and electricity.
Don't let the cancer of California spread across the 49 states. I didn't have to go through, I should not have to go through all the other parameters of this. This starts in California. Mondami will pick it up in New York. Tampon Timmy Walsh will make it in Minnesota. Greg Abbott in Texas will capitulate and say, you think tires are expensive now? You ain't seen nothing yet. You have not seen nothing yet. You know who's pushing this? Nancy Skinner. Former member of the Assembly. She's now head of California Air Resources Board. Well, not California, excuse me. I'm so pissed off I can't even think. California Energy Commission. This witch you see right over here, former senator, now head of the California Energy Commission, produced, appointed by Gavin Newsom, one of his employees is Mayor Baby Jesus of Moreno Valley. That's why. Little Missy of Baby Jesus is employed by Gavin Newsom, who appointed this witch, who in 3 years is going to ban 50% of your tires that you can buy for your car, and 70% in 7 years. Look at this! And California people in Oakland elected this witch as the Senate. Your term limits, like Baby Jesus Cabrera is sticking up your ass in Moreno Valley and others. Term limits don't matter. She's termed out of office. He appoints her to this Energy Commission. You're going to take the tires on. You're going to make the tires on your car so expensive. You're not going to ban them. You're not going to ban cars. You're going to make them so expensive that only the 1% elite are going to be able to afford to drive them. And then the roads will be clear, and they won't have to deal with you, me, and everybody else clogging up the roads. Oh, isn't this just a lovely picture that's effing you in the ass, California, and you're loving it? What fools we are. More from the KCRA 3 report. And Great Ashley's Wallet, here we go.
Electricity will offset the cost of new tires in the beginning of these phases. The commission also claims this will improve air quality and provide other environmental benefits. But meanwhile, some tire makers have several concerns. Some say this is actually going to increase costs by limiting consumer choices. Here's what both sides of this new rule told.
No kidding. Damn it. If you went to middle school in the 60s and 70s, you would understand this to a T. If you went to middle school in the last 20 years, you would have no frickin' idea of how this goes. Just like Aretha and Baby Jesus, Ulysses Cabrera and Corey Jackson, because they know how to manipulate you into making you a slave for them. If you want to keep on this track, then enjoy when you're grabbing your ankles and you know what they're sticking up your ass. It's a 12, well, maybe their little 3-inch member. Here we go.
Told us after the vote.
From the commission or the industry perspective, what we're really concerned about is the fact that these costs to the average, families in California that are, struggling with affordability, is that it's going to increase their costs by hundreds of dollars in phase 2.
This is a big freaking problem. This Brent Gadflatty from Goodyear, he should be saying, Goodyear should be getting some PR out there, and everybody else, all the tire companies, you know what? They're about to F you in the ass. They're about to take away your ability to drive on the road. They're gonna screw you.
Got about 1 minute, Roy.
As Sean said, we'll be joining the Monument KMET here in less than a minute. They're going to take 70% of the tires off the market.
Ridiculous.
How in the hell?
30 seconds.
They're going to cash register just like I said. Even if you can afford the $10 gallon gas or whatever's coming, you can't afford tires to put in your car pretty soon. You're going to be taking a torch to your $50,000, $80,000, whatever, because that's about what it's going to be used for.
Here we go, 10 seconds.
Ford America, PatriotSwitch.com.
IE Newswire Daily is on the air.
The following is a paid program. Views and claims expressed are those of the program producer and are not endorsed by this station. Opinions expressed are not necessarily those of radio station KMET, its management, employees, or affiliates.
There's that funky slide guitar music that comes in every Monday through Friday, live at 5 on the evil or on KMET, the Mighty Met, 1490 AM, broadcasting all over the Inland Empire in the aforementioned AM band. I'll get it right. Also joining our vast video audience on the Evil FB Network YouTube. Check us out, subscribe, type in iNewsWire. Roy Blecker, you'll see my nice smiling, shining face. We'll get to some of the other news, the race report and everything else, but this whole... It broke yesterday. The insanity of this. California regulators approved new regulations limiting what replacement tires you can buy for your car. In 3 years, 50%. Go down to Fred's tire shop. In 3 years, 50% of those tires will be gone. In 7 years, 70% of them will be gone. Can you imagine? You think prices have more than doubled on tires since the COVID con. Before, a tire you could buy for $75 in 2019 today is costing you well over $150. And equivalent tires, and you can go on up down the line. Hell, they're going to get it. You think it's bad now? After this stupid regulation? That $150 tire is going to cost you $750 frickin' dollars. On top of that, if you don't understand the construction tires, if you've ever been in racing or something, you got a durometer that tests the hardness or softness or the traction ability or stopping ability of the tire. These new regulations are going to have tires so hard. Kid pulls out, runs out in front of you, in front of your car. If you have tires of today, you're probably going to stop in time. The hardness of the rubber of these tires is stupid, Nancy Skinner is talking about. Even if you stomp on the brakes with both pedals and pull up on as hard as you can on the wheel and every amount of force you can put on the brakes, ain't gonna matter. It's called the coefficient of friction. Harder tire means it's going to take longer to stop. You can roll her into the corner a little bit too hot. Well, if you got normal tires, well, yeah, you'll be able to save it. With the Nancy Skinner, Gavin Newsom, Corey Jackson, Ulysses Cabrera tires, you're just going to go off the side of the cliff 100 feet down to you and your family's death. This, again, and I don't care, you can have two Teslas, like baby Jesus, Ulysses Cabrera mayor in Moreno Valley. 10 years ago when he got elected to council, didn't have a pot to pee in. At the price they're going to make it for you to drive a car, or the price of electricity, you couldn't put enough solar panels on your house to drive your car at 10% of what you're doing today. Even if you have a Tesla, or a phony Fiat, or whatever it is. This all brought to you by this witch, Nancy Skinner, former member of our state legislature. Well, you know how your term limits worked out? Well, yeah, she got termed out. Gavin Newsom's appointed her to the California Energy Commission, and when Ashley Zavala asked her the report, or she made in testimony or whatever it was, she said, yeah, it just took us 20 years. If I'd have been on this commission 20 years ago, we'd have had it then. You would have had this. And as I said in the beginning report, don't let the cancer of California spread across 49 states. They're test piloting it here. It doesn't matter. Oh, you figure out, you scratch and burn, get 3 jobs, and you figure, well, I can still buy $10 a gallon of gas. And you run the tires you have down to the cords and they pop, no air, ain't going nowhere. Limping on down the shoulder on the rim. Go. Check out the old Charlie Daniels song, Uneasy Rider. You can't afford the tires. Because the tire you bought in 2020 for $75 is now going to cost you $750. $3,000 for a set of tires instead of $300. Put that in your inflation calculator. Stuff it down your throat. Pull it out your rear end, because that's what your politicos are doing to you. And they will do it to you, and as I said, Royism 101, don't let the cancer of California spread across the other 49 states. Again, these regulations are getting passed not even by your legislature, from the California Energy Commission. For Christ's sakes, when do we wake the hell up? When are you mad enough to start marching in the streets for what really matters? Or are you just going to grab your ankles and be made a total slave and say, please don't march me into the gas chamber? So this witch can turn on the fire and you are no more. Dang it, people. Get your S together. I don't know how much more of this we can take. I don't know how much more of it I can take. People are effed off, flock off on the flock cameras. The old wrestler Kane, now mayor in town in Tennessee, has been telling you he's pulling them. Cops in Grass Valley are pulling them. The surveillance state, everything else we're dealing with. Here's Kane. In Sunday briefing, we do. Well, we thought.
Discussion after a reported 50 law enforcement officers used the technology for unauthorized purposes, including to stalk women. Now, cities and counties across the country are rejecting the use of the cameras altogether. For more, let's bring in the mayor of Knox County, Tennessee, Glenn Jacobs. Mayor Jacobs, thank you so much for being here. These are no ordinary license plate readers. They can track cars by dents or by bumper stickers. Cops in your county wanted $1 million worth until, as the New York Post writes, you, the former WWE star, chokeslammed the deal. Why?
Well, Peter, first of all, thanks for having me on. As you said, these are not your typical or conventional license plate readers. They're a lot more than that. This debate is framed about law enforcement versus and public safety versus privacy. You know, really, I want law enforcement to have all the tools that they need. At the same time, those tools have to be constitutional and they have to be safe. I'm sure you all saw a story just 2 days ago where a lady in Wisconsin was boxed in by police. Officers had their weapons drawn because a flock camera had flagged her car as being involved in a murder. There was another story very similar to that a few weeks ago where a family was pulled over. Again, police got out of their cars because they think it's a very dangerous situation. They thought it was a stolen car. It was not. It was an error with the flock cameras. Those are not isolated incidents. Those may be more dramatic than what we've seen otherwise, but this system is notoriously erroneous. There's a city in California, 71% of the hits were the wrong license plate. And I believe that the system, because it is a mass surveillance system, is unconstitutional as well. So we're talking.
Glenn Jacobs, formerly wrestler known as Kane, is 111% right. They can track, bumper. Oh, well, that 6th grade educated ditch Bankogi from Edgeline. wearing a We the People constitutional shirt. Oh, look at that bumper sticker. Oh, we can just shut off his car in the middle of the road. We can beat him with canes and beat that crap out of him. So you figure out how to buy the $10 gallon gas. You find out how to, you hawk everything you got to get $3,000 worth of tires that 6 years ago cost you $300. Well, no problem. They just go, boom, switch. Your car is dead. As I said, well, with Dr. Kelly yesterday, I still got an old Chevy pickup that's got a carburetor and points ignition. Not saying they're going to have a tough time messing with that one. I don't know what it's... Maybe they've denutted enough of the retarded half of the population. They won't stand up, won't say anything, look on their little 3x5 screen and their porno and whatever the hell they're looking at. And they figure they own you. Google was set up in the mid-90s by the CIA, Central Intelligence Agency, our government. Dang it, wake the hell up. Start, if you're gonna form the resistance, form a resistance for something worth fighting for that's gonna make your life better, not put it more in the control of these yo-yos. Or you're going to get this. Latest takeover CBS 2 report. Hopefully, here we go.
CBS LA's Brittany Ehrman live in Bellflower with the market ransacked and facing $30,000 in damages. Brittany?
Yeah, Gio and Leslie, and this is the market we're talking about, AZ Market. That's where suspects went in and ransacked the entire place, and you can see just how close the intersection is. That's where the street takeover happened, and residents tell me it's getting out of hand. Now with these takeovers spilling over into nearby businesses, residents say more needs to be done to stop that chaos. Broken glass, knocked over shelves in a store left in disarray. That's what workers at A to Z Market in Bellflower were left to clean up.
Well, you know what, residents? If you don't want that stuff to happen anymore, you better start electing people that are not going to let this happen. You have been electing people that have allowed this lawlessness to happen. Well, you've elected Corey Jackson. He said defund the police. Get rid of the canines. Police are racist.
On Saturday, after dozens of people ransacked the business during a street takeover. Los Angeles County deputies estimate nearly $30,000 in damage.
Glass is broken and everything got stolen.
Residents witnessed the damage at the market the next day.
Pretty concerning. We haven't.
Oh, Mr. Hernandez is pretty concerned. Well, he should be shouting at the top of his lungs, how in the hell does our society allow this to happen? I'm busting my ass trying to make a living for me and my family, and some crazed bunch of animals just come in here and destroy it all, and you're watching it? Mr. Hernandez, you're as much as a problem as they are because you ain't got enough balls to say it, and you keep electing the stupid idiots that brought you, that destroyed your store and destroyed your community. And you're going to vote for them again. Lord help us all. CBS News Sacramento on the flock cameras. Hopefully, what we thought. Well, we had it loaded up. Then it unloads itself. No, maybe it will play. Here we go. We thought. Here we go. We thought.
Near the Lincoln Airport in Placer County. Again, not the first time it's happened in Lincoln. There's Kayla Moeller. CBS 13's Kayla Moeller joins us live from Lincoln now. Apologize. Here we go. Kayla, this debate has turned destructive.
Tony, that's right. I am in Lincoln at the Lincoln Police Department. They have had a rough go this year when it comes to those automated license plate readers like flock cameras. Law enforcement says 2 more were recently just damaged, bringing the total to 6. Automated license plate readers are gaining popularity nationwide. Companies like Flock and Axon leading the way.
Definitely not a big fan of flock cameras. I think they kind of like, I don't know, they're very like Orwellian, kind of like.
Mr. Bunman. Well, you know, I'm kind of against flock cameras. And, you know, we paid communities across the border paid million. We in Moreno Valley, $3 million. We already had a camera system. Just normal cameras, and if they want to go back and look at something, they can. Not monitoring every. They got a dossier on you like you've never seen with this stuff. Then they fill your heads with fake polls. The median strategies, oh, we'll just run fake polls. The gullible news media runs with this stuff ad nauseum. Here's the CBS News report. Well, we thought.
Birdies, bogeys, and bears. At 10, the wild surprise for a local golf course worker.
But first and new at 9, the political world reeling tonight after a bogus poll claimed Mayor Karen Bass was beating her opponent by double digits.
CBS LA assignment editor Mike Rogers is at the desk. And Mike, this fake poll was even picked up by some news outlets.
And tonight, one local analyst who spoke with us saying it's just flat out irresponsible. Now, this poll, as you mentioned, said that it was done by Median Strategy, saying they're an independent polling and research firm. And they say they polled people, 560 of them, between July 30th and August 5th. And they put Mayor Bass ahead of Nithya Raman by.
It's horrible. We don't demand you look at the cross steps. How did you come across with this? How did you weight it? Did you weight it? That's what you look at a poll and you can see if it's BS or not. Well, they just put in a poll. Oh, Karen Bass. 85% of Spencer Pratt were, she was Hong or whatever her name was, going to win the Wisconsin deal. They just made up numbers. And most of the news media ran with it.
Double-digit percentile, saying that 80% of the people that didn't vote for Spencer Pratt were going to vote for Mayor Karen Bass. They published the results. It was picked up in a couple of publications. A TV station even ran with the polling data. But the problem was the entire poll was bogus. Now,
the entire poll was bogus. Nobody, media ran with it all this bogus. You know, we got to get back to a society where men were men and women were nervous. Here's Darrell Waltrip on with Dale Jr. talking about, well, how we used to do this stuff. You know, the object was winning the automobile race, however you could do it. No, we know we're scared. Or, you know, Javier hasn't won in 42 races. Well, maybe we should just give him a chance.
50 pounds. When we go through tech, your right side had to weigh so much. So we'd have a block of Mallory that was bolted to the frame on the right side to make the right side weight be right. So when we get ready to then put me in the car, they'd undo that. They'd give me a piece of just tube, and they'd put the tube where the Mallory was, and I'd take the Mallory and put it over on the left side to get the left side weight up. So it's just...
I bet the worst...
But listen, this sounds really bad, I know, but it's not, because there wasn't a lot of people around to watch, to take. I had a helmet. It weighed 50 pounds. I never wore it. But it hung in the car. I had a radio. I'll never forget this. We're at Charlotte. And Dick Beatty. And he comes, me and Rusty and Dale and all, we're sitting there talking one day, and he walks up and he's got this radio right here. And I said, Dick, is there something wrong with your radio? And he goes, wham! He throws that damn piece of Mallory down. It's weighed about 50 pounds. He said, it ain't my damn radio. He said, you want to know where we got it? I said, I think I know.
I was going to say, I bet the worst day of your life was when they introduced in-car cameras. That would have changed the game for a lot of people.
Yeah, you just hard to get away with stuff like that. Yeah. The playing field has been leveled.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
the playing field may have been level, but it took all the personality, fun, innovation, or most of it out of the sport. And they're doing that with our daily lives. Cash register justice, like I said, this boils down to one thing that I've said. They're just trying to eliminate fun. If they can eliminate fun and joy in your life, then you will accept anything. You will say, just please make it stop. People, please get off your dead frickin' asses and band together to stop this. I don't know how much more plainer I can say it. Man, what a day. Gotta head to the Moreno Valley City Council to hear more of this madness. $50 million to buy 10 acres in Moreno Valley to build a public safety campus. Holy cow. So we usually say at this time, mandatory, you're back here in 23 Hours Wide for the best darn show in the whole wide world. Until then, see ya.
The proceeding was a paid program. Views of
my equipment going crazy again.
All right, Roy, have fun at the meeting.
You got it.
I know you're eager to get back at those. So
you got it.
Bye now.
Bye.